As you can probably see by the title of the video, after 5 years, it has finally happened. I have decided to officially quit my job as a teacher through the EPIK program. So this may come as a surprise for a lot of you, as I have definitely said more than once that I have loved this program and could see myself in this job for a while. So what exactly happened for me to come to this decision, and what's next for me? I will get into all of that shortly. Anyway, hi everyone. If you're a returning viewer to my channel, welcome back. If you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Taylor, also known as Taylor with an E, and I'm an expat currently living and teaching here in South Korea. Let's get into the video. Alright, so first the why. Why did I decide to quit my job as an EPIK teacher? Honestly, I just felt like it was time to move on and that I kind of grew out of this job. Not so much age-wise, but in the sense that I felt like I got all of what I wanted and needed out of it. And, I just felt like I was ready to move forward and on to that next opportunity life has to offer. But I'm walking away having gained so much. Like, I definitely feel like I've grown so much as a teacher in this job, and I've made so many wonderful connections and positive memories these past 5 years. I mean, I literally started from square one, knowing nothing about teaching, to now where I basically can lesson plan in less than a day, and I'm one of the top designers of PowerPoint games for teachers in Korea. My schools were great. Each and every one of my 10 co-teachers who I taught with were absolutely wonderful and so helpful, and I loved all my students. So I guess if there's one not so great thing I could say that somewhat influenced my decision to move on was how COVID affected my experience teaching these past couple years. I moved to Incheon, to a brand new school right at the beginning of the pandemic. Since then, while school life in Korea is inching toward being normal, it's still not the same. I miss being more interactive with my students and getting everyone involved in class and doing group games and projects. It just feels like now there's more of a separation due to the social distancing aspect of things. Also, I just feel like I wasn't able to build those connections with my students in my current school as I was in my previous school. Due to the constant schedule changes, students always wearing masks, so it was definitely harder to learn names. And the fact that, I taught triple the amount of students these past 2 years that I did at my other school. So while these things didn't necessarily make me want to leave my job with EPIK, they definitely made me feel less bad about doing so, if that makes sense. Like, they weren't contributing to the reasons for me to stay, I guess is what I'm getting at. However, going back to the more positive aspects that influenced my decision to quit, 2021 was also actually a really big year for me. At the beginning of the year, I launched my own website, which featured the PowerPoint games I've created for language learning, and it has been doing so well with over 41,000 visitors just in this past year from countries all over the world. My YouTube channel has really taken off, which is still so crazy to me, and I've just been trying to keep up with it all. So those things also came to mind when making my decision to quit. It just felt like everything was pushing me toward taking that next step out of my position with EPIK. So what is next for me? Actually, with the success I've had with my website and YouTube channel this past year, I had a few different options to think about going into this year, one of which was potentially working for this really great language learning app company that's based here in Korea. But ultimately, I decided even with things still happening with COVID, I wanted to continue teaching. So I made the decision to work for a private school in Seoul. And when I say private school, I don't mean Hagwon or private academy. I mean the private version of a public school. So for those of you looking to teach in Korea, you may not have heard about private schools as an option, mostly because there are far less of those positions in Korea than at public schools and hagwons. Those jobs tend to have lower turnover, so you don't really see recruiters post about them too often. And the people who do get those positions often get them through connections they have at the school, which is how I pretty much got this job that I'm about to start. So a current teacher at the school saw my website, saw my YouTube channel, and just thought I would be a great fit for a position at their school this coming year. So for those who don't know, basically private schools have mostly the same contract and benefits as public schools, but there's no desk warming, aka more vacation time. If you get lucky, higher pay, which is definitely a plus, more autonomy in classes, so you have more control over how and occasionally what you teach, and sometimes even more native teachers employed, meaning you'll see the students you teach way more often since you might only have one main grade to teach, which helps in forming stronger bonds with your students. So I'll make a more in-depth video talking about public versus private schools once I get settled into my new school here. As I said, there really isn't a lot of information about them out there, especially on YouTube. So I really think it might be helpful for you guys to know this one other option you may have if you ever decide to come teach here in Korea. Also, a new job means I am going to be moving again. I'm going to be leaving Incheon to be somewhat closer to my new job, and Kendrick and I will finally be moving in together. I mean, I would hope this would happen now since we're married now, so I'm just happy it's happening. But we literally just found our new apartment a few weeks ago, and I'm moving in next week. So I'm so excited about it because it's bigger. I'm talking 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and after 5 years of living in Korea, I'm finally going to be in an apartment with direct natural sunlight, which might be the thing I am most excited about, to be honest. So this will be the last video you see me filming in this apartment, and I'm not sure how soon I'll have an apartment tour up of our new place. I might do an empty apartment tour and then do a second video that features our apartment once we're more settled in and it's furnished. Or I just might do one or the other. I don't know. We'll see how my schedule is. But yeah, currently I'm so busy preparing for this move, preparing for this new job. Seriously, guys, after quarantine, where I literally just relaxed for 10 days straight, I feel like my life has gone from 0 to 100. And between those things I just mentioned and the wedding, that's why I have been so MIA from YouTube lately. So anyway, that's pretty much what's been going on with me. Like I said in my previous video, I still might not be as consistent posting videos for a little while longer, so bear with me as I continue to just get my life together. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post below. You guys have an amazing, wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.